tripod that you can attach to anything. So, yeah, I'm good.
Alright, here we go. I just sent the go, so you better go. Oh, I don't like this. What's up with this black line across to you?
I don't see it. Oh, it's just where it's. You don't have it placed. My box placed right in the app. Move me up just a little tiny bit. Oh, I guess that's not it. I don't know what that is from.
We're live.
Okay. I'm just giving props to God. All right, well, we got a good matchup here. Dakota's been struggling so far this year, and Adderic's been tearing it up. So, but he's coming off of a 9-7 loss against the Dolphins, and hoping to get some retribution here. And Dakota looking to get some retribution and some positive traction on the season. So,
Yeah, absolutely. This will be a battle of two defensive fronts. Both sides are absolutely phenomenal.
yeah, it's the edge rushers for the Broncos. Are the best tandem in the league so far by far, with Chubb and Von Miller. So,
You could argue that Clowney and Watt are right there with them.
yeah, I'm just talking about stat wise, as far as the sacks go for the league so far this year. I know a couple weeks ago they were both at 8 sacks apiece, and I don't know where they stand right now, but I'm sure they've added a few more to their total since then. Got 2-3 yards up the middle there by Booker. So halfback dive to start the game off. Not a surprise, Dakota is a conservative player that takes his shots. He's I don't know that conservative is the right word, but he's a guy that sticks to his game plan, I guess is the best way to put it. All right, Keenum drops back. Oh, he's got his tight end there wide open on the corner route.
Great protection. That's not what I expected from this Texans.
Broncos have a pretty good offensive line. I was not able to get a lot of pressure against him either. My secondary was able to frustrate Keenum and get. Keenum is not a deep ball threat. He's got a noodle arm when it comes to trying to push the ball down the field, which is something I know Dakota's working on getting used to, because he's used to having that cannon back there with Kaiser last year, and then I'm not sure who he had in Kansas City the file before, but I know he loves to push the ball down the field, and he's just struggling to adapt his game to Keenum's.
I think he had a drafted QB.
Yeah, I think so too. I know he didn't have Alex Smith for very long.
No. That guy turns to macaroni arm pretty quickly.
Nice juke move back to the right there to get to the hole and gain 9 yards on that play.
Is that Booker?
No, that was Williams.
Okay, Williams. Great cut by Williams. That was great vision. Le'Veon Bell-esque.
Patience, young Padawan.
This will be a good test for Aderick. Dakota's got a ring, so.
All right, he's got Keenum in the shotgun. He's got a bunch set right. He's rolls out to the right and then looks to the right corner, and he's got Henderson open all the way down to the 3-yard line. He got the ball and then got some good rack afterwards. It was a good throw. About about the extent of what you're going to get out of Keenum trying to put the ball down the field. He's not going to be very effective at pushing it much deeper than that. But that was a perfect throw.
Yeah, I like the way Henderson used his body to haul on the pass.
Yeah, he definitely went up and got that. Yeah, he played power forward on that one.
Absolutely.
Now we got 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. He's coming out 3 wide in the shotgun, tight end offset left.
That's Booker.
And Booker right up the middle with a big hole. I guess if you're going to attack that defense of the Texans, right up the middle is the way to do it, as long as you're going to the opposite side of Watt.
No Vince Wilfork anymore.
No.
Field goal's good. Got a 7-0 lead. Dakota's been struggling this year. I think this Broncos squad is 3-5.
And that touchdown's brought to you by Mountain Dew.
Oh. Is that right?
Kickoff. Taken for a knee in the end zone by number 16 for the Texans. He will start at the 25-yard line.
So Dakota's been struggling, coming in at 2-6.
Yeah, because he had.
Just looking at their defensive stats, they are 20th in points allowed, 31st in yards allowed, 21st in pass yards allowed, and 31st in rush yards allowed. So you can run on these guys, and you can essentially throw on them as well. Offensive numbers.
I had success across the board against him, and really it was just the defense, getting timely turnovers, and because he doesn't have a problem pushing the ball down the field. It's just whenever he tries to push it too far, and Keenum just can't get it there, and ends up lame ducking it.
Yeah. So looking at Houston's offense, 25 points a game at 6th. They're 24th in total yards per game, 183 with passing yards per game, which puts them at 21st, and rushing yards there, middle of the pack at 18th.
We got his encroachment on the defense. Nope, that's going to be on the offense. 2nd and 12.
That is not good news for the Texans. They just lost their center for the game with a dislocated wrist.
Ouch, that sounds painful.
It does. No push-ups for that guy. Rounding out the Texans.
Elbow push-ups.
Looking at their defense, they're 1st in points allowed, 8th in total yards, 15th in passing yards, and 8th in rushing yards.
So got play action, and he lofted it right over Miller's head in the flat. Not that he had a lot of open field there on that cover 2 with the guy in the zone, but
let's take a look at what Watson's doing this year. He's thrown 10 touchdowns in the season, bouncing back from the ACL tear a year ago. Total, his touchdown to interception ratio falls in line with the rest of the league. A lot of people are struggling this year. He got 10 touchdowns to 14 interceptions.
And Watson drops back, has all day to throw the ball, and ends up just putting it underneath to Hopkins on a crossing route. Picks up 10 to the 12 yards, but is not successful in getting the first down, so he'll have to punt here. Give Dakota the ball back.
Hopkins off to a dismal start this season, too. Only 350 yards on the year, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, a lot of guys are adjusting to the new passing mechanics in 19, because he did a really good job with the rookie with the draft pick that he got in last file, and was
Rashad Lennon, 99 club.
Yeah, that's his wide receiver. I'm referring to the quarterback that he had as well. But he definitely had a good passing game and was well ahead of interceptions with his touchdowns, his touchdown interception ratio. So there's very few guys in this file so far that have a better touchdown to interception ratio. I think there's only 1 or 2 quarterbacks with more touchdowns than interceptions right now in the league.
I'm going to make my pick for this game. I think Dakota, based on his football intellect alone, is going to improve to 3-6. I think we'll see Aderick go to 6-3 after this.
I'm just a commentator. I'm not supposed to take sides, so I will.
Well, I'm not rooting for anybody by any means. Just based on what I've seen, that was a very smart audible, and Dakota seems to be reading defenses and changing plays to the weakness of this Texans defense.
Play action. Oh, wow. Barely gets that off, and
that was a dot.
Able to, yeah, he pushed it. He had Clowney laying on top of him when he threw that ball. He was able to squeeze it in there for a first down. Good play.
Keenum is a tough quarterback. After what I saw in the playoffs from him in real life last year, gained a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, and in real life, his first game with the Broncos opening weekend, he threw 3 interceptions, but he also threw 3 touchdowns. So ended up, and they got the win. He's in the pistol here. Oh my gosh, not really sure what happened there. That was
calling it a fumble.
Oh. Yeah, it was a bad snap.
It was a bad snap.
I don't know that I've ever seen that in Madden.
Me neither. That's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it looked like the center thought that Keenum was under center and snapped it right up into his butt and dropped it right down to the ground. And luckily, Keenum was able to fall on it.
Picked up 5 viewers. We're at 2 about 2 minutes ago. Any new guys out there want to join Sim Association, just head over to simassociation.com. Love to have you.
And that is going to be incomplete. He was out of bounds. Keenum's first incomplete pass of the game makes it 3rd and 12. It's something I've noticed a lot this file in 19, that receivers are a lot more prone to step out of bounds on the sideline throws like that, and we don't have control over those traits anymore, but that feet in bounds trait is very important, it seems, this go around. 3rd and 12, Keenum drops back. He's got all day. Started to take off. Had that post route open over the middle that he saw once he stepped up in the pocket and completed for a big gain down to the 29-yard line. And made a nice spin move after catching the ball. Henderson there having a big game so far. He's the one that went up and got that ball that took it to the 3-yard line before that led to the touchdown.
I'm starting to believe that old adage that there's holding on every play, because these two defensive end, well, Clowney plays linebacker, but you got Watt and Clowney coming in almost every play, and they have to be being held because they're not getting any pressure.
That Denver line is pretty good, so I wouldn't take too much away from them either. But that was a nice 9-yard run by Williams up the middle there. He's got 2 carries for 19 yards so far, off to a big start on his first 2 carries. All right, Denver lines up 2nd and inches from the 20-yard line. He's in a bunch right formation. Booker lined up to Keenum's right. Thomas, the wide out, lone to the left, drops back, and just drops it over the middle to Henderson.
Who is this Henderson? Who is this Hans? For all you Frozen fans out there, I'm a father, so Frozen is in my life.
Every Henderson.
Carlos Henderson.
He
is the leading receiver on the team. 28 catches, 593 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
All right, Denver's got 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. He's got 3 trips left. Handoff to Booker right up the middle, all the way down to the 4-yard line. That gives him about halfway there. That'll be 2nd and goal from the 4.
Aderick is going to have to find some inside pressure if he wants to stop this Denver running game.
He's letting himself get spread out, with those wide formations.
This is a time to use that double A gap nickel.
It's close to the goal line. I'd go ahead and run a 3-4 zone. I'm not worried about guys beating me deep. Now we've got a jump, neutral zone infraction. In real life, they're not letting those go anymore. If it's a clear neutral zone infraction, they're blowing the play dead. I saw that a couple times on Sunday, but not really sure how you fall into the end zone and get called down at the 2-yard line. But That's.
Dakota taking the free down. And,
Oh, did he drop that ball? It looked like he caught it and fell into the end zone.
It would have been third and goal from the 1 or second and goal from the 2.
Okay, well, I guess he did catch it, but yeah, once again, I guess falling into the end zone doesn't count. You see that a lot, though. Guys, the ball most definitely breaks the plane, but they call it short. So Adrick's out in goal line formation against a strong right, and he gets the touchdown on the slant, on the quick slant.
Thomas.
Yeah. Now there's a name that we don't have to wonder who it is. Demarius Thomas going nuts in the end zone. That's a big man.
It is, and he's been hurt. He said this is the first year that he's felt 100% in about 3 years. So I expect big things from him, not only with Dakota, but also with.
Wow, did you see that score that just flashed across the bottom of the screen? Bills-Bears game, 62-0.
Yep. He didn't wait for my response, so without getting too much into that, he tried to go after the all Madden Bills, and
I definitely gave him plenty of warnings. So, but you got to give it to him. Jay loves to play his games. And he'll take the whooping. He may tell us all about it in the shout box, but he'll take it like a man, regardless. So
yeah, there's a story for you to read there after this game if you want. I'm not paying attention.
All right. Houston is struggling still on offense. That carry was for no yards. So we got 2nd and 10 from the 25. They've just got to at least get a couple first downs here because they are really struggling offensively and defensively. They can't move the ball on offense, and they can't stop Dakota on defense. So Dakota with a lot of movement on the defensive side there, and he is going to get a sack, strip sack.
What is going on? Oh, that was a lineman. Okay, never mind.
I think that was Von Miller with the strip sack. Sure was. And that guy is a beast. And those Orange Crush unis are looking good. He comes in for the strip sack, and luckily for Adrick, his offensive lineman comes back, picks the ball up, and tries to become a running back. But those guys don't end up with the ball in their hand very often, so you can't blame them when they try to do something with it when it does turn that way. So.
All right, you love the unis. I love the helmets. That throwback D on the side is pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, gotta love those John Elway Super Bowl era Terrell Davis. Oh, he just missed him. He had Will Fuller there, with a step on the left sideline there. Dakota loves that double A gap nickel formation middle blitz that leaves him in single coverage, no safeties high. So, and that the Texans do have some speed. If Watson can drop one of those in there, look for that to come back later in the game because Dakota will run that defense several times throughout the game.
Watson reminds me of a baby scorpion. Puts a little bit too much poison on it. A little bit too much for his own good.
I think that ACL he planted it a little too hard. All right, Denver lines up in a 3-wide formation. Keenum under center gives the ball off to Booker on a stretch play, and gets about 6 yards on the carry. That'll be 2nd and 4 from 32. All right, Broncos line up from the 32-yard line, trips left. Double tight end formation, wide receivers both to the left, and right side of the field is open. But that'll do it for the first quarter of play at 14-0, and not only 14-0, but it is just a completely one-sided ball game at this point. I'm not even sure that Adrick has positive yards right now.
I just looked into the chat, and Monteith says we look and sound great. That's good. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
I know I look good.
Chandler came in the clutch with Carlos Henderson. Too bad I wasn't looking at this. And then they started talking about Jay's game, and Chandler says Jay had to be complaining more than focusing on the game. That could be the case.
Uh-oh. Keenum dropping a dime to Carlos Henderson.
Dot.
That that kid is on his way to Offensive Player of the Week if this keeps up. That is apparently he only had one touchdown coming into this game because that shows now he's got 3 on the season, and that is the second one tonight. So,
Hawk, if you'd said his name to me prior to this game, I would have said never heard of her. That is good.
He barely snuck that kick in there. So we got 20.
That between 2 frog hairs.
21-0. Adderic's got to do something here. This game's going to get out of hand quickly. We're gonna see the backups in the second quarter. We're going to learn who the Broncos have on their bench if this game doesn't start to progress in a different direction for the Texans here.
So I was perusing through while we're waiting on play calls here. I was perusing through the awards section.
That word was so pretty you just had to say it twice, wasn't it?
And happened to glance over the NFC Quarterback of the Year race. Usually there's 10 quarterbacks there. We're sucking so bad that there's only 6. So
Jared Goff should be up there.
I think he is. I think he is.
My guess is Wentz is number 1 because he's the only one in the league or only one in the NFC at least with a positive touchdown to interception ratio.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
he's pretty far up in that ratio as well. I think he's got like 17 touchdowns to 7 interceptions.
He's also leading the MVP race as well.
There's no surprise. Ben is doing well with the Eagles.
Yeah, the collective groan from team reveals is what rings in my head when you talk about that.
Yeah. All right, Texans have the ball for 2nd and 4 from their 31. The Broncos are just daring him to do something, and he's got a nice gain here, crossing route to number 16, I believe. Watson put the ball on the money there, and Dakota was on a blitz, so he had the field open and takes the ball all the way up to the 44-yard line. He's starting to move it here. If he can keep this drive sustained and at least get some points on the board, that would go a long way to changing the atmosphere of this ball game. All right, Watson comes up under center from the 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Looks over the defense, makes some adjustments, drops back to pass, and throws it over the middle. He's got his tight end, but he got stuck. Oh, absolutely. Just pads popped on that one for sure.
Yeah, he's lucky that wasn't picked off the back of 54's shoulder pads.
Yeah,
21 was right there.
Yeah, Griffin had that ball come up and it went straight up in the air, and there were 3 defenders in the area, and he's lucky that one of them didn't come down with it. But he does still have the ball, 2nd and 10 at the 44. Comes out in shotgun with dual backs flanking him in the backfield. And he's going to hand it off to Lamar Miller right up the middle for a gain of 2. That's only 3 carries for 5 yards for Lamar Miller, and he is learning that Derek Wolfe is not to be messed with. He's shut him down right on that run. Did not give him anywhere to go.
Lamar Miller's always made me nervous as a running back. He if he gets popped just the right way, he will fumble.
He is a very versatile back, though. He makes me nervous with everything he can do coming out of the backfield there. Whether he's got the ball or he's looking for it on a route, he is. That was definitely the wrong guy to throw that ball to, but the linebacker came.
That is Brandon Marshall out there playing like a young gun.
Laid his body out to get the tip on that ball. And speaking of Lamar Miller, route running ability, he ran a good route and was actually wide open underneath for a 1st down. But Watson decided to go for more yardage and tried to push the ball in there and ended up getting it swatted to the ground. And now they're at the punt, and now Denver will take over on their own 15-yard line. 8:34 left in the second quarter. All right, Denver coming up to the line of scrimmage now. Keenum under center. Got 2 tight end formation, single back, wide receiver motion on a crack block down there that actually opened that side of the field wide open for Booker to pick up a nice gain there, 8 yards on the 1st down carry. And halfback toss crack where the receiver comes in motion and picks up the double block there with the tight end. That worked pretty well there that time. Probably one of the best blocks I've seen on that play.
Yeah, Broncos not missing C.J. Anderson one bit with these two backs coming in here and working the way they are.
All right, Keenum in the pistol formation, and he looks to his left and just stands in that pocket. And guess who? Carlos Henderson. Keenum is now 8 for 9, and I think 7 of those are to Carlos Henderson. I can only think of one other pass that was that touchdown on that quick slant to Demaryius Thomas. So I think maybe his tight end has caught one. So I don't know. The Carlos Henderson is just in full-on beast mode right now.
I'm looking at the replay right now. I'm seeing if Aderick was using that safety, because that was a cover 2. Should have been covered. He was protecting against the post, and it burned him. Right call, play, right time.
Yeah, Henderson is just in another world right now. All right, Broncos come to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 4 from the 41-yard line on Houston's side of the field, and they are threatening to score again. Houston needs a turnover in a big way. Empty backfield now. Booker motions out to the right. Keenum takes the snap, drops back, and he fires it out to his tight end.
But
number 80 with the catch, and there is a flag on the play holding against the offense. So the Texans get a break there to stop the Broncos with a flag when their defense isn't able to do so. But that'll make it 2nd and 14 all the way back to midfield at the 49-yard line.
You know, Hawk, that tight end has an interesting name. His name is Jake Butt, spelled just like you would talking about your own.
Oh, there you go. I bet he didn't get picked on it when he was younger. But now he's in the NFL laughing at everybody. So Keenum takes the snap. Butt is not in the game, and he is that was not a good decision by Keenum on that play to try to push the ball into Butt's replacement on that play, who was double covered over the middle. One of the first miscues that we've seen from Keenum this game, but he was fortunate to have that ball fall harmlessly to the ground. All right, we got 3rd and 14, and the Broncos come back up. Keenum in shotgun, empty backfield. You got 3 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Only nobody internal to block. Should be able to get some pressure here. Strip sack, and we've got another lineman running free in the backfield. And it looked just as
Merciless.
And Merciless is hurt on the play. He gets the strip sack, but he also gets hurt somehow. Looks like
right there on the dive.
Could be a shoulder because his arm was just dangling there as he was going after that fumble. But still a big play for the Texans defense that could generate some momentum for the offense here. And the Broncos punt, and it's going to be out of the back of the end zone. The Texans will take over at their own 20-yard line. That ball was skied through the end zone. That never even had a chance to do anything but be a touchback.
Oh, we got a break in the action here. I want to talk about Chief Mo's daughter and the GoFundMe that's being set up. You can find the link on our Twitter page. If anybody out there can donate to her, last I saw it already raised $216. So thanks for everybody that is donating. We really appreciate that, and we wish her a speedy recovery as she goes into these next 2 weeks of chemo.
And even if you're not able to donate, or if you do donate, the next best thing you can do, or maybe even better than that, would be to promote the GoFundMe page. Throw it out there on your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever you got going on social media. Put it out there for all your followers and let them know, that our friend needs your help, and he's going through a tough time. Thankfully, he does have insurance, but he's got a lot of added expenses coming along with this situation that would just be nice to not have the weight of that on his shoulders, because he's already just trying to deal with a lot with going through cancer with his daughter, which is just something I can't even begin to comprehend. But it's a bad deal, but a good chance for us to show what kind of community we are, and the Sim community as a whole out there, and the Madden community as a broader situation as well. But back to the action, the Texans just picked up a huge play down the right side that gained them all the way down to the 33-yard line. Watson on a dime, dropping it in between 2 defenders, and was able to pick up a big gain.
Yeah. real quick, one shout out I do want to give. I don't even know if he's going to see this. I hope he does. But Clint Oldenburg, one of the senior developers for Madden, did retweet that GoFundMe link, and he has 14.1 thousand followers. So we're hoping to get some traction there. Again, big shout out to Clint Oldenburg.
Yeah, thanks, Clint. All right, he almost followed up that big play with a big interception. He tried to force the ball into double coverage, and fortunately for Watson and the Texans, it came back at this is an incompletion. And it's a quick update. You're up to $386 now on the GoFundMe site. I just pulled it up there, and
Right.
that sharing, that sharing is helping already. So it went up $170 just in the past couple hours, because it was at 216 as well when I checked it earlier. Texans with more trouble on the stretch play there. Didn't pick up many yards, but their running backs on the ground not getting up. So not a good sign here for Aderick. He's at the 32-yard line here, and that Denver thin air, he should be able to at least come out of this with a field goal if he doesn't turn the ball over. All right, coming up to the line of scrimmage at the 32, 3rd and 9, Watson under center, double tight end. We've got a flag. Is that offsides? Oh, wow, now he's dropping back almost out of field goal range. That was Foreman that said he would not be able to return this game. I didn't quite see that. It went away too quick. But he's got Foreman injured. It looked like he said he won't be able to return for the game. I did not see what the injury was. Our sideline reporters are just too fast right now. Oh, all right. 3rd and 14 from the 37 now. He needs to get a few yards to get comfortably back into field goal range if he's not able to pick up the first down. Watson drops back. He's got the pass completed up to the 19-20 yard line. And they're going to mark forward progress at the 19. So big play to pick up that first down. Dakota was coming with a blitz and ended up blitz did not get home. So that gave Watson enough time to find the open man. All right, Aderick with his first real offensive threat of the game here into the red zone. We got 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line, 4:04 left in the second quarter. Watson calling out some audibles here. He's making some adjustments and runs the play action. And oh my gosh, he is wide open with his fullback. And oh my gosh, I've never seen a big moose-looking man like that juke so sweet on his feet. That was pretty for a fullback.
Fluid.
And he's got a little strut in his step after he made that juke move. I think that's probably the prettiest thing he's ever seen. You can't believe he did it himself. But the Broncos are on their heels here a little bit. If Aderick can get a score here and hold the Broncos the rest of the half and maybe even get some more points himself, we might be able to have a game here in the second half. So
it's been all Broncos at this point. Hopefully Texans can
Miller with the ball right up the middle gets maybe a yard, but that'll bring up 3rd and inches. And once again, Derek Wolfe, he is a big man to be dealt with up the middle there for that Denver defense. Lamar Miller.
He's been doing it a while in Denver. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
Lamar Miller ran right into him and twice now, and you would think, what, one time, shame on me. 2 times. Denver is stacking the box here. Watson drops back and got the touchdown. Will Fuller, he barely threw that ball in time. He had him open for a minute, then he was coming across the middle. There was a defender stepped in there, like he might have a chance to play the ball, but the ball got into Fuller and he took it right into the end zone for a score. 21-6 with the extra point. It'll be 21-7. So
I'm gonna call that touchdown dance. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
looks like we got a roughing the kicker penalty as well, and that'll be enforced on the kickoff. So this will definitely go through the back of the end zone. That extra point is good. So 21-7 now. Aderick on the board and looking to gain some momentum after the strip sack, and then the change of possession, and then they're able to take the ball down the field and score the touchdown. make it a 14-point game with plenty of time left.
Monteith says risky throw. I say dot.
I say it was a risky throw that was a dot.
Drinking my dumbed down smart water. I took the bottle and I refilled it from my filtered water in my fridge. So
That's not quite tap water, but it's not quite smart water either. So, oh wow, Keenum just gets plowed from behind. Whitney Merciless must not have been hurt too bad because he just came in for another sack, and it's a good thing too because Keenum had the whole left side of the field open and he had a couple guys breaking free, but he was not able to do anything about it. Whitney Merciless comes in there and just shows him what it means to have a 260-pound man on your shoulders.
Yeah, I think Romeo Crennel finally figured out this Denver O-line because Whitney Merciless is just having his way with the quarterback while Watt and Clowney do the dance.
Yeah, Watt just hasn't been the same in the last couple of years after those big injuries he's had to deal with, but he is still a force to be reckoned with. I'll be interested to see in real life how he's able to sustain throughout the year and if he's able to ever get back to that form that made him a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year.
He's another one of those guys. I mean, and a lot of guys say this, but he said this is the first time he's felt 100% in a couple years. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Denver lined up, Keenum in the shotgun, and we've got a false start. Actually, that was Merciless. Merciless was a little bit eager to get back there, so 2nd and 10 on the encroachment. Get the Broncos that 5 yards back they lost on the sack.
Just wonder if they're playing aggressively like that, trying to get back in this game.
Yeah, I think he was using him in there. Keenum in the shotgun takes a snap and quick throw over to Henderson, who was open, but he got popped and was, for all the heroics he's had this game, he was not able to hold on to that one, and I don't blame him because he got hit hard as soon as that ball hit his hands, and that was a great play by the Texas secondary. And the momentum has definitely changed because Henderson was all over the place in to start this game, and that time he had the ball and he was open. Keenum just didn't get it to him in time, and he paid the price for the ball getting in there later. And he's able to get the ball completed up to the 33-yard line, but that was not enough for a first down. So Bill O'Brien quick to call the timeout with 4th and 2, and the Texans will get the ball back with a chance to put some more points on the board.
Got a 2-score game, looking to make it a 1-score game.
All right, the ball falls into the end zone on the punt, and that'll be Texans ball, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 1:45 left. They've got 2 timeouts remaining. They've got a lot of time, and then the timeouts to do some damage here if they can keep moving the ball and keep this momentum moving in their direction.
They can do something. Just need to be smart here. Watson's got to use his playmaking abilities, but also be thinking about where the players are on the field. And that seemed like a John Madden adage if I'd ever heard it.
All right, Watson drops back in the shotgun. He's going for the screen pass, and oh my gosh, Dakota had that screen just completely blown up. But that's Lamar Miller just had an insane spin move.
Adder taking a page out of his work buddy's playbook with that spin move.
The play action gives him all time to throw the ball, and he gets it over the middle to his tight end there, number 84, who looked like he got dragged down by his face mask, but I guess it was just by his shoulder pads. And we've got another 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Just like that, the Texans are at midfield. Watson in the shotgun.
Got a cover 3 look.
Watch out for Hopkins in the slot. They've moved him to the inside here, trying to get something open for him, and he is wide open all the way down to the 16, 17-yard line. I told you, watch out for Hopkins. Watson was looking at him and smiling when he saw the way that defense was lined up. That didn't even have anybody on him at all, not lined up on top of him.
If I was Denver, I call timeout here, regroup.
Yeah, you cannot leave a man of that, a guy of that caliber wide open like that. Hopkins will burn you when you've got double coverage on him, let alone not anybody lined up over the top of him.
Houston just took a timeout.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go. The ball on the 13-yard line. Just needs to be smart here, and he can come away with with a touchdown and cut this game to a 21-14 lead and the momentum. So I don't want to give that momentum back. So just be smart with the ball here. And Broncos come up and press the Texans receivers. Watson drops back, and he runs right into the sack. It's a strip sack, but luckily the offensive lineman there fall right on it again. And he's going to need
hurry up or call a timeout here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. We've got 16 seconds left, 15 seconds. He did not come back up to the line. Third and 19, 12 seconds now. By the time they get to the line of scrimmage and snap this, they're not going to even have time for a field goal if they don't. Yeah, this is the last play of the half here. But horrible clock. Now, there they go. That's a smart call. Go ahead and take that timeout. Get the 3 points. You would have liked to have seen a touchdown there, but that was really bad clock management. It was saved there with the 3 seconds to go, though, to still be able to get the chance at the field goal here. So, now icing the kicker. Don't want to take those timeouts with you to the locker room. So.
Yep, because you will not return with them.
The former Colts DB that's turned Broncos head coach, trying to ice the kicker here. Let's see what happens. Just inside the right hash. The 26, a 43-yard field goal attempt. It looks like it's right down the middle. So 21-10.
Great kick.
The abbreviated halftime, and we are back. So Beyonce was scheduled to perform at halftime, but they told her just to stay in the locker room. They don't want none of what she's got. They're going to keep playing football. All right, Broncos kick off, and the Texans get the ball back here to start the second half, see if they can keep this ball rolling in their direction. And they had a bit of a problem with their clock management there at the end of the first half, but they still have very much have the momentum in their favor. Total yards are pretty even now. We've got about 187 to 200, and just over 200 for the Broncos. So. Got a stretch play to Miller, and he has got some daylight, but ended up running into his own offensive lineman there. Big number 71 had nobody to block, so he didn't know what to do. So he just figured he'd get into the hole himself and block Miller's path. But that could have been a big gain. Only 3 yards on the play, though. Miller decides to run off the field now with the ball. Apparently, he's going home.
Taking my ball and going home.
Yeah, somehow he managed to get back on the field there. He's in the backfield now, split with Blue, Alfred Blue, and Watson play action, and he hits Miller there. Or no, Blue actually coming out of the backfield. Alfred Blue makes the catch for a gain of 7, or actually a gain of 4. I'm sorry. Second and 7. Now it's 3rd and 3, and from the 32-yard line, Dakota could gain some momentum back if he's able to get the stop here on this 3rd down and get the ball back. All right, 3rd and 3 from the 32-yard line. The Texans line up in a tight formation, bunch tight. You got 2 guys right, 2 guys left. Miller in the backfield, and that is going to be a 1st down. I'm not sure how they missed that, but big number 84 coming across the middle was wide open and takes it all the way down to the 46-yard line. He tried to juke, but he just didn't have much of it in him. So number 31 was able to put him on his back, but not after a big gain of 13 yards.
I'm seeing some visual aids from Dakota's side, but I haven't seen it every play. Something to keep an eye on. Could be a glitch.
Yeah, there's a problem with that across the board this year. So, oh my gosh, Lamar Miller is going to the house.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he was caught from behind, but he is still all the way down to the 21-yard line. Big gain on a big hole and some nice moves up the middle there on the zone run play.
Yeah, it looked like he just ran out of gas there at the end from making all those moves.
Yeah, because he had nothing but daylight between him and the end zone, but he had a couple guys he had to get by, and they were not having it. So See if Dakota can keep him out of the end zone after making that big stop there to stop him short at the 21-yard line. Sean Watson comes up under center, double tight end formation, single back. Lamar Miller, and looks like it's going to be a play action that there's nobody out, and this is going to go the other way to the house. Bradley Chubb is going to get his team the momentum back after the strip sack, picks it up and takes it all the way back the other way. That was just not a good play by the Texans. The execution there was horrible all the way around, and a zero blitz coming from the man who loves the zero blitz. And that's why he loves it, because that's that big payoff. It's a risk-reward, but right there he got the big part of the reward, and that gives him the momentum back and an 18-point lead after the extra point is good. Now Broncos to kick off here. You know, the other thing I've heard from people is that whoever has the stream tends to have some lag on kicks. You don't see it anywhere else but on kicks. I've heard that from a few of our users so far this year, so that's something to pay attention to as well. And because of that, I've been trying to bounce the stream around back and forth to not stick it on one guy too much. So if I've messed that up with you and you think you're streaming too often and you're noticing that lag on the kicks with your stream, let me know, and I'll try to make sure I move that around as well on the schedule.
I have not noticed it, and if you want me to stream if we play, so be it.
And we've got another injury. That was a big play and a nice pass, but he is not getting up, and that usually shows that he will be gone for the game, if not longer, when that animation comes up for an injury. When you got a guy laying on the field writhing in pain.
Houston just getting ravaged by injuries. I have not seen one Denver player hit the ground.
Merciless was hurt earlier, right. But he's came back.
Yep, it was a minor. Must be a Denver air thing.
Yeah, they need that oxygen.
Blood's thinning out.
Denver's got the right side of the field stacked. Von Miller coming up the middle on a blitz. That left the middle of the field wide open with Hopkins. Excuse me. Again, wide open for the second time. You do not let that man get away. But that was another blitz. He did have a safety over the top on that one. Not a zero blitz, but another blitz by the Broncos defense. They are just trying to put the pressure on Watson and see if they can't force him into another mistake. Watson drops back from the 36 in the shotgun. Looks like they're getting man coverage on a zero blitz again, and he is going to go for the house, and he's got his tight end wide open. And he had Chris Harris Jr. on him that time, and the talented cornerback could not keep up with the tight end as he was just overmatched size-wise. And Adric takes it in and says, "Hold on just a minute, let me get that momentum back." Extra point is up and good. We've got a 28-17 ball game with 7:21 left in the third quarter.
He was quick to make up that Bradley Chubb touchdown.
Yeah, that's that risk-reward defense that Dakota plays. He definitely maximizes his 40% blitzing, and he definitely gets the reward out of it as well. But that's the risk right there that you see, that when guys are able to, just when you thought there was nothing but daylight between the kick returner and the end zone, that hole closed, and he takes it. Still a nice return out to the 35.
Our patrons in the chat letting us know that the over has been achieved. So
well,
keeping a close eye on those betting lines in the make-believe football league is where it's at.
Yeah, if you're that into it, you probably need to go to Gamblers Anonymous. I can provide some counseling for you.
Leaning back like that, you just got super small, so we now have your big head out of the way and can see the lower quarter of the screen.
There, how about now?
Perfect.
Here. Oh, that's the wrong way.
Other way. Your other right.
There we go. How about
other left?
There you go. I'll just be right over here on the big old 7.5 size head. have to have my hats custom ordered. It's hard to contain a brain this big.
You demonstrate that every day.
They say geniuses lack common sense, so that's where my demonstration comes.
Is there such thing as a common sense genius?
I would say yes, but it is not me.
I'm really missing the Note 9 commercials tonight and the Old Spice commercials. I haven't been playing with my Stream Deck too much tonight. That's what triggers those, is when I switch over different scenes.
Yeah, when you have to reload the stream. Yep. All right, Broncos drop back, 3rd and inches here. Back to the game action that we've been neglecting to call since we've been discussing the size of my head for the past 27 minutes. Broncos are steadily moving the ball down the field, have it up to the 40-yard line now, 1st and 10, big 3rd down completion there. It looks like both guys have kind of gotten away from running the ball since it hasn't been very effective, minus a couple big plays, but passing game has been where it's at so far today, minus the strip sacks that have been on both sides. So it looks like Broncos are going to run the ball here with Devontae Booker up the middle, but he gets nowhere. Yeah, it's the first time we've called Watt's name today. That's surprising. We're halfway through the 3rd quarter before J.J. Watt's name gets called. You expect more out of a $17 million player. All right, Broncos. Keenum drops back, puts Henderson in motion. Play fake. And oh wow, that was a dangerous pass that he was able to complete. And we've got an injury to Booker there for the Broncos. We'll see what happens there. But that was a throw into double coverage that the other Henderson was able to grab. I'm not sure what his first name is, but Carlos was not that one. Maybe Chandler can tell us who number 17 is as well.
That's not Henderson at all. It's a Deshaun Hamilton.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew it was an H. I thought I saw 2 Hendersons. Nope, that's a Henderson and a Hamilton. And a Heuerman and a Williams. We got a Henderson, Hamilton, Heuerman. He's just got the H's.
Say that 5 times fast.
Henderson, Hamilton, Heuerman. 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 There you go. All right, and it is Heuerman just going nuts. The big man with the slight foot, and he is dancing like he's on ice skates out there. Barely missed stepping out of bounds when he caught that ball, and then takes it all the way down to the 9-yard line.
Heuerman on ice with some
Henderson, Hamilton, Heuerman. Henderson, Hamilton, Heuerman. Henderson, Hamilton, Heuerman.
And the Triple H challenge continues.
Yeah, for you WWE fans. Triple H. That's as far as I go. I have no more WWE information for you because I do not know. I am not a fan.
Yeah. Stop believing in that. At the same time, stop believing in Santa.
What? You mean Santa's not real?
Oh, oops.
I quit watching about the time Hulk Hogan quit wrestling.
I say...
about the time Andre the Giant was making the Princess Bride was about the time I was done watching the World Wrestling Federation.
Because I'm pretty sure Hulk Hogan came back like 6 times.
Yeah, he's worse than Brett Favre.
Or Michael Jordan.
And he comes back for a different team. He's a good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy. And then in real life, he's a bad guy, so he can just be a douche all the way around. And we've got the Broncos getting it all the way down to the 2-yard line on that carry. And
even if the Broncos score, Hawk, here, I think that this is still a game. Got plenty of football left. Well, over 17 minutes. I'll
just put it to you like this. If they score here, that would give them a bigger lead than the total amount of points that the Texans have scored so far. So if you want to call that a game, I'll let you. But I won't agree.
I don't think it's over by any means.
Well, no, they don't. They'll keep playing until the clock says 0, but it won't be over, but it'll be over.
Don't let this distract you from the fact that the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl.
Well, there is that, and don't let that distract you from the fact that the number 2 defense in some association forgot how to tackle on the closing drive of their game last week. All right, they get a field goal, so it remains a two-score game. Texans are down 14. They have yet to show that they're able to stop this Broncos offense, though, without getting a turnover. I don't think we've seen a punt yet. No, actually, we've seen 2 punts.
Yep, Marquette King has been on the field a couple times.
Yeah, we have seen 2 punts from the Broncos, so I take that back. All right, so it's 31-17. The Texans will take over the 25-yard line, and they are needing to get a touchdown here. And then bring that punter back on the field again for the Broncos. So, oh yeah, that is right. They did get Marquette King, didn't they? I knew the Raiders cut him, but I never actually knew who signed him. So.
Yep, Marquette King was signed by the Broncos about a week later.
Lamar Miller up to the left side, and yes, there's those fumbles you talked about.
Yep.
I think he was down.
Yeah, I think he was down too. Let's see here on the replay. We get it in time.
He went. I don't know. He was on top of the Broncos player, so he may have never have actually made contact with the ground. The booth is reviewing it though, and it is overturned. Broncos will maintain possession. 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line. That is a big break for Aderick. He cannot afford another turnover at this point.
No, I would retract my statement. Should that be the case?
You are a double-minded man, unstable in all your ways. All right, Texans snap the ball and play fake. And did he catch that?
No,
okay.
He did not.
I mean, that is Hopkins, but that would have been a heck of a catch even for him. I would probably stop the play action if I was the Texans because they're continuing to get Deshaun Watson destroyed. And that one almost turned into an interception, and it was lucky that it wasn't a fumble as well. But that's how Bradley Chubb got his touchdown. So. He's got Miller wide open, just sitting there, on a check down.
Lamar.
And first down for the 44-yard line now. I think those animations are showing, those visual aids are showing up every time.
Let's look here.
I think every pass play. So yeah, they're there.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, they're there every pass play. That's something he needs to take care of. Oh my gosh, that was a great catch by Fuller. He definitely put his body, he got square and just went up and got that to block the DB from having any play on that ball at all. Nice catch. Takes it all the way down to the 22-yard line. 44 seconds left here in the third quarter, and the Texans are threatening on the edge of the red zone here.
He high-pointed that ball. Came down with it. That was an amazing catch. If I had to say the 2 best receivers in this game would be Fuller and Henderson. Call me confused.
Hopkins has had a big game too. He's had some nice plays. Don't count DeAndre out. He's had his share of success tonight as well. But yeah, Will Fuller is definitely stepping up and earning his game check. And then Carlos Henderson was on his way to an Offensive Player of the Week award, but he has been silenced since the second quarter.
Really, since he got popped.
Yeah. 2nd and 12 now after Lamar Miller was not able to get out of the backfield on that last carry. 23-yard line. Watson drops back in the shotgun and gets it to big number 84 all the way down to the 19, so that'll bring up 3rd down and 8. That was a 4-yard gain, a hard-earned 4 yards. I don't know that a field goal does you any good right here, so this may be 4-down territory. We got Watson in the shotgun, Miller to his right, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left.
Yes,
and the Broncos call timeout as they were getting a little flustered on what to do there against that formation.
A lot of confusion on that side of the ball.
Yeah. And in the red zone, that's not what you want. I forgot the Broncos picked up Jonathan Hankins. in our free agent waiver wire pickups as well. Not seen much out of him, but it's definitely a good pickup out of Broncos this offseason. Watson drops back, and he has got pressure in his face, but oh my gosh, that was a great pick play that brought Hopkins open over the middle. And once again, that zero blitz and 4th and 1. I think I'd go for this here if I was Texans.
First time I ever beat Dakota. I watched film on him the week before, and that zero blitz was the death of him that game. If you can catch him in it, you can definitely gain some advantage.
All right, they are going for it on 4th and 1. This is the biggest play of the game so far. And Watson drops back, and that is not going to go anywhere. He's going to lose big-time yardage back to the 19-yard line, and the Broncos will take over there. That was good defense. Nobody was open. He was forced to just check it out into the flat, and he probably would have been better served just to try to run that ball himself.
That's what I was thinking. I think I would have scrambled.
But he took it over easy. Yeah, we've got play action. Possession catch is good up to the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Broncos completion to Butt.
Shocker there for me. Henderson on weak side of the field was wide open coming on that deep end.
Yeah, but how can you pass up an open Butt?
I know Jimmy Garoppolo never will.
All right, we've got Wendell Smallwood on the carry up to the 31. Apparently, the Broncos picked him up as well. He's Eagles. I know he was on the Eagles in real life last year. I'm not sure where he's at now. I thought he was still with the Eagles, but I could be wrong. Anyway, he's with the Broncos here in Sim Association and just made a carry for 2 yards.
Who is it?
Wendell Smallwood.
Oh. No,
another play action. Keenum has all day, and it is pass complete to Butt again, I believe. And Jadeveon Clowney is down, and he is hurt. We'll see what's up with Clowney. Another guy that has not been able to stay on the field his entire career.
Right you are with Wendell Smallwood. There's some information that you will need throughout the rest of your life. He is a Philadelphia Eagle.
There you go. That means he's got a ring. Because unlike the Falcons, they were able to finish off the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I didn't expect a response.
I'm just saying.
Uh-oh.
Oh, got stream issues.
Woo!
What was that?
Thankfully, it came back.
Probably trigger an Old Spice commercial soon.
Keenum drops back on another play action, and he has Heuerman wide open. He is using and abusing that play action. And
abusing is a nasty word.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about nasty abuse. I'm talking about what he's doing to this Houston defense.
This Houston defense.
I'm not talking about sim play abuse. I'm talking about just nastiness against the defense. And he's got a bruised sternum. Will not be able to return for this game, but that'll probably just be only a one game. He'll be back on the practice field on Monday.
I believe that's the third Texan we've seen leave this game for good.
Who else left? Their center.
Yeah, their center left, and then
everybody else came back, I think.
I don't have a stat guy behind me telling me.
Yeah. And Demaryius Thomas on his second catch of the game for a big play up to the 22-yard line. The Broncos are looking to put this game away.
It is his fourth catch, sir, for 32 yards.
Well, it's his second catch that I remember, so.
He has not been memorable, that's for sure.
That same stat guy you don't have in your ear, I don't have in mine either. And somebody wanted to distract me by the size of my head discussion, so I may have missed a few catches along the way. Good thing we're not getting paid for this.
But we should be.
Hey, I'm getting paid in smiles.
I need to. I'm gonna do a Shawshank Redemption and write Old Spice every day for a year until they pay me to plug in their commercials in here.
I am not opposed to slick product placement. I've already thrown a Mountain Dew up on the screen a few times, and our 12 viewers, that should be worth something to the good old boys at PepsiCo. So. Meanwhile, Booker carries the ball for a few yards up to the 17-yard line, and big third down here.
I apologize, Chandler. You are our stat guy, and you have answered every single one of our questions in chat. Problem is, every time you answer it, I don't have it up.
Well, we need to get Chandler in our ear.
I need a third monitor is what I need. My wife looking at me like I'm nuts.
She's not far off. Keenum just throws the ball out of bounds, and they will settle for a field goal here, which will put them up by 3 scores if they can succeed in converting this field goal. The Texans need to come at it and try to get a block here, because going down by 17 points with 4:20 left is not going to be easily overcome. They need to score as many points as they've scored in the entire game in the last 4 minutes and 16 seconds now to be able to have any chance at this game. Broncos kick off, and let's see if they decide to bring this out. They will bring it out, and he is making all kinds of funky moves and play that funky music up to the 23-yard line. Could have saved himself 2 yards and 4 seconds if he would have just taken a knee.
At this point, Texans probably just need to take a knee.
For the rest of the game?
Yeah, it's pretty much over now.
You're not very nice.
Trying to do my best Charles
You
Davis
play
impression.
to win the game. Oh my goodness.
Tight ends aplenty.
He has had a big game. Number 84. That's his. I know he has at least 2 catches of great magnitude, and I'm sure he has more than that, but I'm sure you'll let me know just how wrong I am in a few minutes anyway.
I would be your favorite cousin if I wasn't.
I'm not sure what he's doing in his stance over there. Number 84 is a little whacked out after that play. He's all whacked out on his stance, but he's open again. No, he was open, but number 21 decided to lay himself out and knock that ball to the ground. Watson's having a good game aside from the turnovers. He's thrown for 357 yards. So
Griffin has 5 catches for 104 yards, as the banner showed us just below the scoreboard.
What's his name?
His last name's Griffin.
Okay.
I'll find you his first name here in a second.
Is he the mythical creature, the Griffin?
He probably thinks he is.
Watson has...
I'm on the wrong team. Oh, that's our first interception of this game.
The receiver is the person that catches the ball.
Ryan Griffin. He has probably the most common name for anybody named Griffin in the United States. I know at least 3 Ryan Griffins.
That was a nifty little back juke there by Mr. Harris Jr. And yes, that was the first interception of the game. We've had some turnovers, but no interceptions, and that was definitely at a very bad time for the Texans to throw their first interception.
No, I want to commend Adric.
You want to be mean, and now you want to be nice. You're playing good cop, bad cop all by yourself over there.
All by myself.
Mr. Smarty Pants.
Anyway, I want to commend Adric. He gets better each and every season that he stays with us, and he's definitely a good find by stud.
Adric, don't let him nose up to you now. He's been running his mouth all game. You just let me know somebody to give you some high fives, and I got your back, buddy.
I'm going to give you a wedgie when I see you again.
That sounds exciting. Be the most action I've had in days. And another first down will just about seal this game. That'll take it down to the 2-minute warning, and unless Adric wants to burn his timeouts, then this game is over.
Spread update. Denver covered it.
He's going to kneel and just put the icing on the cake here.
Well, as we tick down, guys, this has been a blast. I'm definitely going to social media blast our next broadcast. I feel like we've hit a stride here, and you guys said we sound, and I don't know if we look great, but
I do.
Hopefully the graphics do.
I look great.
Yeah, when you shrink your head,
yeah,
you look wonderful. But
I mean, when have you ever seen a beard this pretty?
I know. It's only rivaled by my part here. So anyway, we appreciate all the feedback, and we're going to try and do this more often than not, hopefully. Just schedules are dictated. We might have Miles come on and do one of our games.
And next time I'm going to have a hard part in my beard for you.
I really would like you to braid it. 2 separate braids. Yeah, it'd be perfect. Or like I said, you should do an upside down handlebar.
Yeah, I was messing with that with my Amish beard balm earlier.
Another plug. Right on.
Yeah, I was churning butter and making my Amish beard balm earlier today. All right, well, this game is over, 34-17, and despite your constant mocking of the Texans and their owner, they do come away with the loss.
Oh, man. I'm going to mock you in a minute.
I'm just waiting on that wedgie. I'm excited.
Hey, if you're coming down here soon,
October, I will be. I will be there around the end of October. I'll be there.
We can sit next to each other and do this.
Yeah, then we can go out trick or treating together.
As long as you take one of my. Oh, well, actually, bring Troy. That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
I hope so. All right, that does it from Mile High Stadium and a basement in Danville and a bedroom in Texas. Coming to you live from Sim Association Network. Thanks for joining us.
All right, guys. Have a good night.